There we go. Hello, everybody. What do you say, gang? It's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Thank you all for watching. Those of you watching on the replay, thank you. Those of you live, please feel free to comment. And if you'd like to come on, let me know. And the link is up there. Going to start out with basically the headlines, what's going on in the world. United States President Joe Biden says Americans should leave the Ukraine now. He warns things could go crazy quickly in the region as the Russian military continues to build up, and new satellite images showing continuing Russian troop buildup on three sides of the Ukraine. What else is going on in the news? White father and son charged for chasing and shooting at a black FedEx driver. Access to 3 U.S.-Canadian border crossings cut off by the trucker protest. Hi, Remo. Hello from hello to Cincinnati, and go Bengals. Hi, Sissy. Hello to everyone out there watching. Again, to those watching live here and those that are watching on the replay, it's the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. Okay. And it's a Thursday, the 10th day of February in 2022, the year 2022. The Russian-Ukrainian thing we've talked about on here. Go back and watch an episode that we did with Chris a couple of weeks back. Chris and I recorded an episode that talked about everything that is happening, including some coups that have been happening around the world. Check that out. The Virginia Deputy Attorney General has resigned after some social media posts have come out that showed her in support of the attempted overthrow of the government on January the 6th. And I was looking for a specific story about that. Seems to have changed the lineup. Anyway, a member of the Stop the Steal movement has come out, and an interesting article. And actually, I'll talk about that on a recorded episode of its own. Korea and its Shake the World. Yeah, North Korea is always a it always has to be on the mind of anyone that does any kind of world analysis, whether it be human rights or whether it be the potential to start a nuclear war. Your buddy Joe Biden just spent $33 million in crack pipes. First of all, T-Rex, how you doing? I hope you're well. Joe Biden's not my buddy, and I'm not sure what you mean there about $33 million in crack pipes. I don't know why Joe Biden would do that, but okay. Trump was the worst president. That part I will agree with, especially after learning that he's tried to flush documents down his toilet. He destroyed a lot of White House records. The presidency is not an ego trip. The presidency is not. The presidency should be a a sacred and responsible position. But anyway, I've got a couple of things that I wanted to bring up in lieu of nobody wanting to talk. Let's see, how should I don't even know if I should bring this up, but when I was in college, I was in a group called the Futurists, and basically we met and discussed possibilities of future events, and we were looking at how science was growing and what we were learning, and especially with the space station just starting. It was Skylab back then. Hello, Summer. And again, hello to everyone out there watching, whether you're in the comments, whether you're watching live with us, or whether you're watching the replay. Anyway, and I learned that the Earth warbles, if you will. The Earth, normally we think that, the Earth is, the axis of the Earth is like straight up and down, and we just rotate around. Actually, the Earth gradually tilts, if you will. It kind of warbles. It doesn't go right up on an immediate right up and down axis. And we have a liquid center to the planet that creates our gravity, and it creates our magnetism as well. And we've got the North Pole and we've got the South Pole. Now, one of the projections back then by a futurist was that they were doing experiments on how the unified continent theory, on how the continents looked like they fit together, and how could they have spread apart, and what could have caused it, and how long ago did it happen, all these kind of things. And this one particular futurist talked about the fact that due to the warble, the poles shift, the magnetic poles of Earth shift from positive negative to negative positive. So, the question was brought up, well, does that mean that the planet does a complete shift? And the thought was, no, that's probably not what happens. It's just the electrical output of our planet shifts. But we really don't know. Science has suggested that this happens every 330,000 years. So the last time it happened, there weren't any humans around to document what it means. Now, according to calculations, if I remember right, this is going to be happening fairly soon, like within the next, I think it's the next 12 to 16 months that we're supposed to reach a polar shift. Whether it will be something that drastically shifts the Earth, or whether it will be something that magnetically shifts, but yet geographically we remain stationary and we remain as it is. It's something that if it was wide, it's something that should be talked about if it is indeed known to be happening. I'm not a scientist, but I like I said, I was part of this group, and it was the reason why I was invited along, it's a long story, it's not important. But we're reaching that point. And the speculation was, as I said, the speculation was, would this happen all at once, or would this be a gradual? In remembering this from my college days, and looking at what is going on in the world at the moment. Now, I'm not talking about socially. I'm not talking about politically, what's going on in the world at the moment, okay? I'm talking about looking at unique situations in climate and in geology of the world, okay? And looking at all that and thinking about it, it dawned on me that this polar shift is probably going to be a gradual thing that we may not even recognize until it gets to the point where something happens. My hypothesis, some of you will go, conspiracy theory. It's just a hypothesis that the Earth's poles could be indeed shifting, and it could be a gradual shift, and just subtle enough that it is setting off things like all these unexpected volcanoes, like earthquakes, and it could be that it's messing with the normal flows of air that is primarily dictated by the geography on the ground. If you shift just a little bit and it misses mountain ranges, then it goes a different direction than it does when it's impacted by mountain ranges. Just little things like that. So it could be possible that we are in this magnetic polar shift, and it is not going to be something that is so drastic that it basically turns the world upside down, but it's going to be something that impacts potentially electronics and computers and satellites, and potentially the atmosphere that protects us from sun, solar flares. It's just something that's been on my mind that I wanted to put out there in an episode. And let me stop for a second here because I got a couple other things to talk about. Let's see. Sorry, I'm going over the comments. Hello, Hayward from West Columbia, South Carolina. Welcome. T-Rex, futurist. How about God the Creator? Did that ever come up? No, my theology studies. I was a member. I'm just retired, but crap, my computer just went out. Okay. There we go. I'm a retired minister of the United Methodist Church. So know that the God didn't come up in those, to answer your question. No, it wasn't a philosophical or theological group, T-Rex. Yeah, and I'm quite familiar with Revelation. Great earthquake and will shake the entire earth. And if indeed it is a quick and complete shift of the polar axis from positive to negative to positive, that would indeed create such an earthquake, without a doubt. So, yeah, you can reconcile God and science. They don't have to be in conflict, okay? Just because God gave John the vision on Patmos, doesn't mean that there isn't also a scientific explanation for what happens when it happens. So uh, for too long, people have tried to put things at odds, and instead of trying to find common ground on many different issues. So I wanted to put that out there. I haven't. It's just kind of something that came up in talking with a really good friend not too long ago, and I haven't looked for extensive video evidence or anything like that. I don't even know if anybody's studying it. It might have been disproven, and I just might not be aware of it. But that's what was okay. That's what was going on back then. So, anybody got anything you want to come on and speak about? If you do, let me know in the comments. Rex, while you're here, Apollo and I did an episode the other night, and he mentioned putting a panel together, like a reunion panel. And of course, I would hope that you'd be part of that, since you were part of some of our panel discussions back in the prime of what we were doing and what's going to be necessary to be done still, because I want to put a question out there to those of you that are joining, and you feel comfortable enough to respond. Are we as a country going backwards? Are we as a society going backwards? Are we as humanity going backwards? And to tie it in on a spiritual front, is evil overtaking our country, our society, humanity? Anybody has any responses? Feel free to drop them in the comments if you so desire. And if you're watching the recorded version, you can email me at americandufus@gmail.com. So the only other thing I wanted to why would Biden spend $33 million on crack pipes? I just I really can't fathom. I really can't fathom how that could be real. But Smoke Wagon. The jeans keep getting skinnier and skinnier. It's sad. I'm not a skinny jeans guy. So yeah, that doesn't impact me. I go for the comfort fit, not the skinny. Google it. Okay, I will. But again, that just because you Google something, and you gotta do a little digging at times to make sure the sources are credible, because there's a whole bunch of crap out there. Now, no, I'm not going to say that, because that'll sound misogynistic or politically incorrect. I was going to comment about different genes on different people, but okay, we hit about the 20-minute mark. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And again, I'm going to keep doing these on Thursday nights and just talk about different kinds of things. I want to talk about the Super Bowl. I'm going to be doing that in a American Doofus Sports Edition, and that'll be coming out either Saturday or Sunday morning. So probably Saturday. So thank you all for watching. I love you all. Thank you all for commenting. Uh, Thank you for joining from wherever it is you're joining, and hit the subscribe, hit the little bell so you know when we're on. We're on live 10:30 every Thursday, never more than an hour, and we try to shoot for about 20-25 minutes. That way, those that watch the replay, um, are more apt to watch it than they are if you sit on here and talk for 8.5, 9 hours, as some like to do. I'm not one of them. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Wish you nothing but peace and blessings. And we'll be back and do it again. Well,